We are now live.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hope you're having an awesome day.
We're going to give you a little bit of time to come in and join us as you guys are getting your little ping notifications that we're both live. I know it takes a moment to come on, so as long as we got people rolling in, we're going to keep saying hello, and welcome. Hello, I see all my community jumping in. Great to have you here. We are coming on to do a nice, fun, impromptu live to share a really simple but also really profound ritual, which we'll get to enhance your relationship and to keep intimacy and polarity going. And before we do that, as all of you are jumping on, the inspiration, do you want to talk about a little bit of the inspiration or the genesis for this live?
What was that?
The genesis and the inspiration for the live to come on and to share tools.
Yeah.
And to share about what's going on.
We're here to share tools on how to keep your relationships thriving and high energy. And today we're going to share a cool tool on transitioning throughout your day so you can keep high energy and alignment in your relationships.
Yes, and the deeper genesis of that is we both do coaching, and so a common theme within the week of clients that we've been coaching has been around how to transition from work mode to sexy mode, communication, and also how to bring more of that deeper root chakra yumminess, sexiness to your relationship, whether you're single or you're dating, how to keep staying in that sexy energy. And so that was the genesis of what prompted this on. And I know that for both of us, and you can always chime in whenever, we're both high performers. We're both very driven and ambitious. I think you would agree with that. Yes. And oftentimes, I know for me as a woman, when I'm in my work mode or my creative mode, as Naeem has experienced, I can be more in my traditional, let's say like masculine, which would be a little bit more aggressive, on the forefront, moving and navigating things. And although I'm very sensual and feminine and playful and bubbly, I also have that side of me, which I think is what makes it so dynamic and sexy and hot. However, and successful in business, but not always, and most of the time, not always when it comes to being on a date or in relationship or even in business together, because it can create friction and it can create what's called a repulsion, which means we're actually, instead of being attracted to each other, there's a repulsion of our energy together. And so if we're, let's say, going out and it's a date night and I came from work and he came from work and we're going out and I'm just like going from work mode and doing emails or moving things around and in that leader position, then it could feel like for both of us, friction. It could feel like things are maybe off or wonky and maybe we're not certain why. And be curious, from the masculine's perspective, what's your experience of that?
Why it's wonky?
Yeah, like how you experience me when I'm, let's say, didn't do something to transition. How you would experience me from coming straight off of like work mode.
Yeah, well, you're not in your feminine and it's more rigid and direct, which isn't feminine. Which I don't like.
There we go.
Yeah.
Why don't you like it?
No, well, again, this is why it's important to remember the context and the situation you're in. So when we're in business mode, that's cool, right? But we're in playful, romantic, love, home mode. It's we want to be able to drop out and shift back to what we both desire.
Yeah, and what's one of the things, and maybe someone doesn't talk about this, is kind of on the fly, guys. Hey, Scott, I would say, what's one of the things that like pains you as a man to have your woman that you love and that you're attracted to, when as a man, a masculine man that loves a feminine core and essence, what's actually something that like pains or hurts your heart in a way, for lack of a better word?
What?
When you experience me in that way, when I'm coming at you, or when you're experiencing me more in my masculine, and we're on date night and you're wanting like a fun, beautiful date night.
Yeah, well, in that situation, again, it just calls out more of my masculine, which isn't fun, because it's like the same thing if a man goes into his feminine. A woman doesn't want that, right? Because it just kills polarity. and isn't what attracts you. So when you are in your masculine, the urge is for me to just be more masculine and be like, shut you down, which obviously I don't want to do either.
Right. So that's a good pain point. That's the piece.
Yep.
And I would say for women, the pain point would be feeling shut down. So even though we're wanting love or we're wanting our partner to open us up, it's not your job to always open me. It's really 100% my responsibility to make sure that I'm open and flowing as much as I can. And I think it's actually not fair to men to put it on your responsibility of like, get me out of work mode, right? Here I am on a date, convince me or open me. And I think that, to the point of what we're going to share around rituals, is really important for each partner to really do their own work. Because as you said, like, if you're coming to me, which rarely happens, by the way, rarely happens when Naeem is in his feminine flow. If anything, it's more just sensual. But when it has happened with previous partners...
Only when I'm taking my bubble bath with my rubber ducky over there. Only when I'm taking a bubble bath with rubber ducky to get my feminine.
Quack, 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 quack. Quack. We've actually posted some of the rubber ducky on our stories a little while, and someone was like, what's up with the rubber ducky? But it's a little inside game that we like to play with each other, and it actually manifested a couple of duckies. But I would say on the opposite side, if a man's in too much of his masculine, and it's too aggressive, then women don't feel happy or expressive or safe to open, because we can feel the masculine, like meeting our masculine, to shut us down. And then it actually does the opposite, where instead of shutting us down and then thinking it will open and shift, oftentimes for a stronger woman, we'll get pissed, we'll puff up, and then our masculine will come out to create safety and protection. And so that's really a lose-lose situation, and doesn't happen often in our world. It happened in the beginning while we're calibrating with each other at times. But I know it does happen in clients' world. I know it happens with one of the clients I was speaking to this week in her relationship with her partner as well. And where I was going with that is on the opposite side. If a man's too in his feminine flow and there's like a date night or something and he's just wishy-washy, like he doesn't know how to make a plan, or everything sounds good to him, or what are some other examples? He's non-committal, or he's just kind of like going with the flow, or I just want, whatever it is you want.
He says, I don't know, what do you want?
Yeah, I don't know what you want.
Which he thinks he's being nice, but he's actually not, because the woman wants you to decide.
Yeah. She wants you to lead. She wants you to make the decision, or at least give, hey, here's this option or this option. Then we can choose the option, right? But women, for more primarily in the sense that want to feel the safety, the protection, the leadership of a man, and that's just like a sexy polarity piece that keeps the attraction. It's like a man who's wishy-washy, a man who's not committal, a man who loves everything, a man who everything's so accepted, it's fine, right? That also shuts women down and puts women more in their mode of like trying to lead, and it doesn't actually allow for love to happen and polarity to happen, which chemistry leaves and spark can leave, and then we wonder, what's happened to the relationship dynamic, and why don't we want to be intimate romantically or sexually, right? And then we could think that things are actually wrong or broken and create stories in the relationship, which actually may not really be true. It's just maybe you don't have the right skill sets and the right tools to be able to take your relationship to the next level, so that you can actually move past those limitations that you guys have put on and actually start to shatter the limits that you've placed on either the traditional roles or the way that you think relationships supposed to be, versus actually getting really curious and putting in the work, just like you would in any other thing if you were developing your business, right? Or a workout. Like, he's always innovating workouts. Innovating your relationship and having an amazing toolkit of how to navigate your relationship with skill, with grace, with joy, with fun is really, really important. And we'll be talking more about that and sharing a lot more of our own toolkits on our upcoming masterclass. It's going to be happening next week on Monday. We postponed it because I was under the weather, as you can hear a little bit. So we're excited about that next week on Monday. You can join us. If that speaks to you, just send us a DM. We're happy to share more information with you or chat with you about it. And the inspiration, again, for this was to get on to share one of the tools with you all today that's been really, again, simple yet profound in our relationship dynamic, both working.
Yep.
Anything you want to add to that?
Well, we're going to share about it right now, aren't we?
Yeah, you want to go for it?
Yeah. And we'll share more about it on Monday too, more deeply, because it's not just something you just share in 10, 20, 30 minutes, but it's, just simple transition rituals. So basically, when you go from work to home, or home to work, or creative mode to analytical mode, or whatever it might be, we go to the gym too. We go from home mode to gym mode. You just want to set up a transition between yourselves, and to one, let the other person know that, oh, I'm shifting over from work mode to home mode. And it's for you to kind of like Superman or Superwoman to go into their telephone booth to take a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 30 seconds, 5 minutes, whatever you need to transition yourself to come back into the new environment, into the new context, in not the new role, your other role, right? So instead of me being in work role where I'm just crushing deals, making things happen nonstop, if I bring that to my home, to Josefina, it's not going to be fun for her if I'm just like this rhino just busting through walls, which is what it feels like sometimes if I don't make that transition. So I do my 30-second, 1 minute ritual for myself so I could get into that role with Josefina when we're back in home mode.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And I also do the same ritual, but different. So when I say the same ritual, I mean it's a transition ritual. Like you said, we were talking about last night, getting in a rhythm with life and a dance with life. And intimacy is a dance, polarity is a dance, life is a dance, if you choose to look at it that way. And so we're both always practicing our own dance, but also sometimes we're doing a different dance. A tango, it could be a salsa, it could be hip hop, it could be twerking, right? It could be bachata, as we've been learning in Puerto Rico, some bachata, which is really fun. So being able to practice your skill set and know what's the dance we're stepping into, so you've got the right shoes, you got the right outfit on, right? You got the right energy. And so for you get to decide, and we'll go again deeper into the masterclass. It's way too much to go into it on here, but we'll go deeper into it. But it's simple rituals of okay, if I know that I'm work mode and I'm not feeling good or my energy's low, let me go take a shower real quick. Let me go rinse off and reset myself. Let me go maybe brush my teeth. Let me go on a quick walk, right? Or for the feminine urge to express and shake things off, maybe we put a song on. So those are some of the ways that, I personally also do that. And it makes a world of a difference, as we'll go deeper into the masterclass, because when we then come together, and my practice is my practice. My practice is my sacred practice, and Naeem's practice is Naeem's practice. It's his practice. And sometimes we'll do a transition ritual together, but a lot of the times we'll do them separately. So that when we come together, there really is the polarity, which is known in Tantra as that third energy, right? We create that trinity, that third palpable energy that's felt between us and also felt around us with everyone that's around us. And that's something to think about if you've never heard of a transition ritual, to prepare before you leave the office to go to your date. If you're going straight from the office to a date, if you're dating, or if you're going to go to a party, or you're going to, go home to work, as he said, and meet friends. So that's one of the tools that we want to just jump on and share with you all. And
because what you're doing is you're bringing that energy, and you don't realize it a lot of times, right? You bring that unconscious state or anchor to that person. So if you had a bad meeting, or if you're a lawyer interrogating people all day on the witness stand, and then you don't shift out, again, that underlying energetic force is in your body, and you're going to go home and put your kids on the stand, put your wife or your husband on the stand, and obviously you don't want to do that, but our emotional states are the things that are driving us all the time, and if you don't know how to shift out of those emotional states, you're just going to bring that into the other situation, which you don't want to do. So
that's a really good example. Yeah, we'll talk about more about that. And same thing if you're always go or on the go, as a manager, let's say even at a big organization, or you have a big team. It's you come home and suddenly you're, managing your partner, that won't go well with him. If I'm trying to manage him, micromanage him, it's there's going to be pushback. There's going to be more friction. There'll be more contention points, and potentially build up of resentment, which again, we'll go more into in the masterclass. But we're giving this simple tool to you, but it's also a really profound tool to you. So we invite you to try it on, after you listen to this. Try it on before you move from wherever you're going now to the next thing, or before you meet your lover or your boyfriend or your husband or your wife or your partner, and see how this goes. And if you enjoyed it, you can always feel free for watching the playback to, give us a comment. And, our invitation is to join us also next week on Monday for the masterclass for our peak relationships. And, give yourself the time and the investment and the energy behind it to really start to develop more skills and sharpen the tools that you already do have.
Yeah, it's also about connecting with a community of other awesome people, right? They're committed to this level of love and bringing high energy to it. So it's, to me, it's more fun for that even, right? Learning is great and getting better is great, but if you're in the energy and the environment of other awesome people, you learn a lot quicker anyway, but it's also more enjoyable. So it's more just connecting with that awesome community that we're curating for you to be in the energy of.
To get in the field with us, the field of feelings, the field of fun, the field of pleasure. And of course we grow, like you say.
Yeah. Ordinary things done consistently lead to extraordinary results. I like that quote.
Oh.
So even though it's basic, which most things are basic, but it's about doing the ordinary things consistently, which leads to extraordinary results.
And I also love the proximity piece. So being in proximity to people who've really studied it, who really know it, who really live it, who you vibe with their energy and have a fun way to do it. It's like people just start to pop off left and right with new breakthroughs and new awarenesses from the simple things that honestly you probably already know on some level, but it's hitting you at a different way and you're remembering it and it's landing in your body and your nervous system differently in a way that's joyful and excited, so it makes it last and stick longer.
Yep.
So I feel like that's all that we got to share with you all today. Any last words? I think that's it. That's it. Send us a note if you want to contact and stay in touch with more. And thanks so much for joining us, and hope to see you guys next week. Bye. Quack, quack. Make the squeak. Make it squeak.
It doesn't squeak.
It squeaks.
I don't know how to squeak. How do you end this?
See?
It's not ending.
Let's see.
Oh, there.
Hitting.